Yo, what up? It's your boy Juice, Twisted Elements crew, Augusta, Georgia. I didn't start dancing until late 98, early 99. Me and Kid Sonic, we used to be in art class together, along with Vendetta, a couple other cats that we grew up with. Back then, I wasn't mentally healthy. I really didn't care for myself at all. I don't know. I just never felt like I was good enough for shit. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't do a damn thing. And always just feeling like I didn't deserve nothing in this world. You know what I'm saying? I got bad to the point that I tried to hang myself. Can't tell you why I did it, but you know what I'm saying? I did it, but I can't tie a knot, so rope didn't stay. Like the very next day is when we started, me and Edric and everybody in art class started talking about fucking dancing. And I needed something. I needed something that would make me feel like me. Express how I am, how I feel. And I took a chance on b-boying. You know what I'm saying? I've always grew up watching Beat Street and Last Dragon, Body Rock. You know what I'm saying? And always wanted to do it, but coming up in Augusta, Georgia, there was nobody here. We didn't have internet or anything like that, so the only thing I had to go off of was VHS tapes and doing the pause, trying to figure out how they did the 6-step, how they did a windmill, how they did transitions. Like, we went through any tape we could find and tried to teach ourselves how to do this. And whenever I met up with Edric and Adrian, my boy D, and Eddie Kane back in high school, like I finally found that brothers in arms that you only get when you're battle tested together. And you know what I'm saying, we've been through some shit. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that was 99. That's when we first really started hanging out. Used to go after school, go over to Edric's house for about an hour session, hop in the car, drive work, get off about midnight, drive all the way back out to Edric's house, session for about 5 hours, go home, take a nap for about 30 minutes, get up, get ready for school. And that was every day. That was how we did it. And I was terrible. But yeah, I finally found my first family. And at that point in Augusta, it was towards the tail end of the Decepticons. It's about really the only other crew here before we came on the scene. And there's one other crew. I can't really remember the name of the crew, but it was all the Filipino cats. They had a little group. I want to say they called themselves the Island Boys. I can't remember, but like when we first started, like our big jam was going to the rave on a Friday or Saturday night down at the Garden City Convention Center. You know what I'm saying? That used to be the spot. Yeah, they used to hold hip hop shows there. They used to hold raves. That shit is really nothing but an abandoned, what was it, a bowling alley or something? Anyway, like that was the first spot that we really got to go to where we could, you know what I'm saying, meet other dancers. We started hanging out with Chad Mack. He was proclaimed king of Augusta at that point. Couldn't go anywhere without somebody asking, oh, do you know Chad? Blase, blase, you know what I'm saying? And he was also a big promoter, so he was throwing some dope jams also. So he was the man around town. So we started hanging out with him and started, you know what I'm saying, learning a little bit. Started hanging out with the guy who introduced Edric to it, which was Old School. And then we eventually started hanging out with Kodak, B-Boy Steel, and Dunn. And when we hooked up with Dunn and Kodak, man, that was a huge blessing because they were the real deal when it came to hip hop in Augusta, hands down, period. You know what I'm saying? They had the knowledge, they had the skills, you know what I'm saying? They had the passion. And when we got with them, that's when I really started to love dancing. You know what I'm saying? Kodak was the biggest inspiration to me because that boy, like, the way he moved and how he could adapt to anything was amazing to me. And you know what I'm saying? He's a good, strong, family Christian man. You know what I'm saying? So I can look up to him like I can't other people. You know what I'm saying? He's always been the vision of what I wanted to be as a man, as a b-boy. You know what I'm saying? And so when we hooked up with them, yeah, we started getting into little arguments with Chad here and there. Because, you know, we had started up Break Yourself crew with Chad. And we ran that for probably about a year. But we just kept bumping heads with Chad. So we eventually decided we was going to start up our own crew. And we ended up calling it Wicked Flavor. It was me, Edric, aka Kid Sonic, my boy Little Wiggles, my boy Tigger, Kodak, Dunn, Old School, you know what I'm saying, and a few others that I'm sorry I can't remember your names right now, but you know what I'm saying, we were squad deep. We had everybody had their own unique flavor and style that they brought to this dance. Nobody looked the same, you know what I'm saying. Everybody loved all elements of hip hop. Everybody was just on that genuinely good level, and we started venturing out and going to, you know, more jams and stuff like that, and seeing what it was really like. You know what I'm saying? I didn't start getting good until about 2001. I started getting kind of decent. We had Wicked Flavors going, and we was rocking that for a hot minute. We actually started winning a couple of little small jams. Nothing big, you know what I'm saying. We started linking up with people up in Columbia, a couple cats in Atlanta, a couple cats in North Carolina. So we started actually traveling and going to battles, because back then all you had was word of mouth. You had to be at a jam to get a flyer for the next jam. If you wasn't at that jam, you didn't get that flyer. You didn't get that flyer, you didn't know where the fuck the next jam was. You know what I'm saying? I remember going to to the gas station and buying like a whole bunch of $10 phone cards because we didn't have long distance on our cell phones because we didn't really have cell phones, so we had to use pay phones. And when you had to use pay phones, you had to use the freaking phone cards so you can call long distance. And it was cheaper to just buy a $10 card. But I'd get those things and I started calling everybody we've ever met. Yo, when's the jam? When's the jam? Where y'all gonna be at? You know what I'm saying? So we really had to hustle just to get to a jam, just to find out where jams were, just to let people know who the fuck we were. And we come from Augusta, Georgia, home of James Brown, godfather of funk. You know what I'm saying? And nobody knows any dancers to come out of Augusta. That's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So we made our mission to let people know that we rep in our city. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we did a lot of good stuff with that. Started getting involved in the community here in Augusta a little bit. Started feeling like, all right, this, you know, life hits you, and you gotta make tough decisions. You know what I'm saying? Me, you know what I'm saying, I was thrown into fatherhood like almost overnight. You know what I'm saying? And I don't regret it one bit. But when you're in those situations, you come from nothing, it takes everything to provide for a family. So I eventually had to give it up in order to find a way to provide for my family and allow me to still be me. And I stopped in 2003, and it wasn't until 2013 that I came back to this dance. And I regret those 10 years that I missed, because this truly has been the only thing that saved my life outside of God and my family. You know what I'm saying? Throughout my life, every time shit just gets to be too much, all I gotta do, throw on a jam, get down, and leave it for God to pick up. You know what I'm saying? So all I want to say to the next generation is, remember where you come from. Heritage means a lot. Respect your elders. Even if you don't like what they gotta say, respect your elders, because they're your elders. They know more shit than you do. I don't care how smart you think you are. Just find a way to be you with whatever style of dance you choose. Just find a way to be you in that dance, because there's too many copycats out there. And take it from me, if you try to dance like anybody other than you, you're just putting yourself in a prison that's going to be an empty void. If that makes any damn sense. Who knows? Anyway, I just want to say I love each and every one of y'all. I appreciate anybody who watches this. I just wanted to get some type of documentation of the people that built this scene here in Augusta. We still ain't got a scene yet, but we're working on it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want, when we reach that point where there's battles going on in Augusta like every month or every other week, I want the people here and the people out there to know who started this. And the main one who's got it to this point is Kid Sonic. You know what I'm saying? Me and him, we've had our bumps in the road, you know what I'm saying, our disagreements, but we brothers, we're family, and we love our city, and we love this dance. So remember, this is life for a lot of people. I can honestly say it's not life for me. It was at one point. Now my family's my life. But it doesn't change the fact that I love this dance. I love my culture. And I'm going to continue to do it till God carries me home. I don't care if I look corny. I don't care if y'all don't like it. I'm going to be me. 2019.